Hey folks, gonna change the starter on a 2013 Jeep JKU. It's a 3.6 liter with the automatic transmission. Got about 130,000 miles on it, and it started to free spin on the starter. Probably a solenoid or something, but at any rate, 90 bucks down at O'Reilly's, and you can get a good reman. So I'm not, anybody who watches my videos knows I'm not a very good mechanic. I'm also not a videographer, so I apologize. First thing is I had to get a decent breaker bar. I'm not going to show you all of it, but I had to get a decent breaker bar to be able to break free that 15 millimeter bolt right here. It was pretty tight, so I'm sure yours will be if it's not that old of a Jeep. But at any rate, I got that broken free, and oh, I hate videoing these kind of things. Sorry, never can get the camera just right. But at any rate, you want to get that one out. There's two 15 millimeter bolts on the back side. Your drive shaft is in the way, but you can get around it. My Jeep didn't have the shroud on the bottom. I took this out probably in 2013, but there's a plastic shroud. There's just some clip pins in the way. Anybody who does any off-roading pulls that off immediately. If you swap out your bumper, you've probably already pulled that off, because it just basically gets in the way for your Jeep. But anyway, two 15 millimeter bolts on the back of your starter. All right. I'm not going to show you me taking these out, because quite honestly, it's just a waste of your time. So two 15 millimeter bolts right there. Then there is a 13 millimeter up on the top that holds your ground wire on. If I can find my socket and ratchet. The other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove the connector right here. I found that it's easier if you take a flathead screwdriver and just kind of punch that purple part. I don't know if yours might be red or purple. Whoops, I just broke mine, so that's awesome. But get that out of the way, and then push your connector off so that you can get into that 13 millimeter behind it. So get that out of the way. Hopefully I don't have to replace that now that I broke it. Alright, and grab your 13, and it's hard to see, but there's a 13 millimeter right up in there. Again, it's just a ground wire, maybe from the solenoid to the starter. I can't see from here. Maybe it goes to battery, I don't know. Don't get yourself hit with the wrench coming down. But it's a nut. There's a bolt that comes off of what looks, I think, the solenoid, and then there's a nut that comes off. Alright, there we go. Alright, put that for safekeeping, and go back to the 15s. These ought to be, no, not hand tight yet. Like I said, they're just awkward spot. My advice, don't let your Jeep die on the gravel, for one. Of course, there's plenty of clearance to lay on your back and do this, but so my advice, don't do that. Secondarily, take it to a buddy's garage where you got a lift. Oh, it'd be so nice to be standing right now, because it's been raining for 2 days and I'm laying out in the driveway in the gravel, but you know, whatever. Had this Jeep for well, 6 years now. Got a 4-inch JKS Fox racing suspension on it. Replaced the axles with, well, I stayed Dana 35 and Dana 44, but I've trussed and gusseted it up the front axle, and I've locked both the front and the rear, and I went with 513 gears. Put 37s on this year. General Tire sent me their new X3 grabbers, so that was pretty sweet. I've got a cold air intake. I think it's Red Rock cold air intake. Went with Rugged Ridge's axle back anodized black exhaust, which is really nice. A lot of people want something really super loud. I don't. I actually just want something that's got a little growl to it when you put the exhaust to it. So I really like the Rugged Ridge one. So that was nice. I've got the super chips on it, so I've got a good performance chip on it. Performance wise, man, it's doing great. I got ARB lockers on it. I didn't do it like a lot of guys, which I don't know. I may change it and reroute it, but I've got my axles at this point where I basically lock them both at the same time. Sorry about that. Just trying to get you a view where you can see how fun this one is. Like I said, I might change it later, but right now I currently lock both the axles. I did go to Uwari. Okay, so both those bolts are the same size bolts. I was curious if those were different. I did go to Uwari recently, and beauty was I didn't need to go in four-wheel drive, like only a little bit. Okay, so I use a screwdriver right there to break that free. I don't know if that's anything it calls for, but it was a little bit tight, which is good when you're trying to take her out. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah, I got that. Okay, so once you take that 13mm nut off, you still got to take the, I don't know what I was thinking. You still got to take the lead off right there. It looks like a ring terminal. Yep, that's tight. Didn't give you much tolerance right there. Nothing holding it on. It's just a ring terminal, so see if I can set this in somewhere where I can knock it down real quick. It'd be nice if I could knock it on my face. That'd be awesome. That connector doesn't give you much play right there. I'll try that with a screwdriver as well. Sorry, folks. I knew that was coming, didn't I? That's alright. Sorry. Most of this video and stuff takes more time to get your video set up and stayed in position than it does to do the work. I thought I'd be helpful with the video. Maybe this one's pretty common for everybody, though. I don't know. I'll tell you what, that thing is in an awkward spot. They don't give you any play on that harness. Okay, yeah, this is gonna make me upset. Let me just set this right there. Can you see anything? Oh, sorry, folks. It's frustrating. Okay, just hold it right there for a minute. Yeah, like I told you, not my fault. I'm not a videoer. Man, or a mechanic. I'm guessing anybody with some real skills probably get this starter out in like 5 minutes. Here I am, gonna have a 20-minute video on a 2-minute job. Is there more bolts? There's only 2 bolts back here and 1 nut. I guess the teeth are holding on pretty good. Get up there and start that thing. See what happens. That'd be awesome. What is that part of it? I don't know. Well, you're going to see all my frustrations, and then maybe you'll be able to avoid them. I don't know. It's just wiggling back and forth. There we go. Wiggle back and forth, wiggle back and forth. Folks, I was trying to see if I took that. No, rats. If I took it out, it might be easier to get that connector free, but it's not. Okay, what? Let me scoot back here. See if I can see what's actually going on here. Okay, I got her loose. Maybe that zip tied right. It is. That would be really nice if you loosened that zip tie right there. It took it off. Whoops. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna re-video, so you're just gonna have to enjoy my. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come out. If you can come out on that connector, we'll do it. All right, whatever floats your boats, folks. Laugh at me. It's all fun and games until the starter gets out. I cannot figure out how to get that out. I'm not. Of course, it's 100% humidity out here, and of course, it's folks, it legit does not want to have enough free space. I'm up here scraping the mess out of my knuckles too. I just don't see what is holding that thing on. Like it legit. Of course, I'm trying not to knock over my camera. That's great. There we go. Okay. Get your screwdriver underneath that connector. Put your starter all the way as far up as you can. And then there's a plate. It's not a ring connector. It's like a 90-degree deal. And that's the problem is it is very well. Actually, it might even be